right, now let's visit section 12.2 of Lehman's book. We're going to be multiplying rational expressions. Let's recall our multiplying fractions because that's what rational expressions are, right? They're fractions. So if we recall multiplying fractions, we should be able to do the same thing. So if I wanted to multiply fractions, I canceled common factors, I multiplied the numerators and multiplied the denominators. Now, because with rational expressions, I'm not going to be able to just automatically see those common factors, I would need to do factorization. So I've done that with my numbers. So 5/7 times 7/15 I've written as 5/7 times 7 over 3 times 5. And what we do is we cancel our common factors to make our problems easier. So this 5 gets canceled with this 5, right? And this 7 gets canceled with this 7. Now with numbers, we can just look at this 5 and this 15 and go, oh, there's a common 5, and we cancel them out, and we'd write 1 up here, and we'd write 3 down here. But with rational expressions, we're not going to be able to do that. So I've done the long way. Now what we do is we multiply out. So numerators, 1 times 1, which gives me 1, and then 1 times 3, which gives me 3. And there's my new fraction. So we're going to do the same exact thing with our rational expressions. So let's go give it a go. So multiplying rational expressions, we're going to factor, we're going to cancel, and then we're going to multiply out. And we are actually, in an algebra class, going to use our multiplication skills. So on this first one, we have a binomial with a GCF. So we're practicing some of our skills from 8.2 here. So I have a 3x in common with those. And so I have an x left in the first term, plus a 4 left in the second term. And then that's all over a 6. And then multiplied by a 9 in the numerator, and there's a GCF in that binomial in the denominator, so 2 times x plus 4. And now I can look and see what cancels. So I can see that there's a 3 in common here and here, so I can cancel that if I want to, because those are numbers. And then I can see this x plus 4 here and this x plus 4 here cancel, and that's all. There's nothing left. So now I'm just going to multiply. There's an x times a 9 there, so 9x in the numerator, and then in the denominator I have 2 times 2. Now one of the things that can be really hard is actually seeing what's left over. So you've got to be really careful and be able to pick out all of the things. And that's it. That's multiplying. Now let's talk about dividing. Dividing, remember that dividing is multiplication of the dividend by the reciprocal of the divisor. So what we're going to do is we're going to write down our dividend, the first thing that appears when it's written in this form, and then we're going to multiply it by, and we're going to flip this over. So 10 in the numerator now, and 9 times x plus 9 in the denominator. And then we want to factor and cancel. So in the first one, that binomial, we have a 6 in common, so we'll factor that out. 6 times x plus 1, and then we have over 5, and then that's getting multiplied by, and then the 10 stays just like it is, and in the denominator we have a 9, and we're going to have an x plus 1. And so again, factoring some, using some skills in section 8.2. All right, now we cancel. So we have a common factor here and here, and we have a common factor here and here. And then we have a common factor of 3 here and here, leaving me with a 2 up there and a 3 down here. And so now we multiply out. So 2 times 2, which gives us a 4. And then 3 is all we have left in the denominator. And because that's just an improper fraction, I'll change it to a mixed number. 1 and 1/3. And that's it. That's dividing rational expressions. Now sometimes it's a little bit more complicated, and we'll have to multiply out polynomial by polynomial using our skills from chapter 7, but that's the basics of what we're doing. So now why don't you guys try this last one on your own and see how it goes, and then you can take a look at the solution. Okay, so here's the solution of this one. I have multiplied by the reciprocal first. I put this in red because I wanted you to remember that when you have a leading coefficient that's negative, right, the highest degree term is a negative, we want to factor out that negative, so I did. And then I've shown you which one I've canceled by color coding. And then you see it, because of this negative, our answer is a negative fraction of an x plus 4 over x plus 2. So go through that and make sure that you've got that down and that practiced our factoring from 8.1.